I've been reviewing the brand new Jazwares Endo Series Glamrock Animatronics, and we are now down to the last two. And today we're going to be taking a look at Glamrock Chica and Glamrock Shattered Chica. Without wasting too much time, let's take a quick look at the box. There's the normal Endo Series packaging with Freddy on the side. You see the Endo and then both sets of the costume parts. It also indicates that she glows in the dark with the eyes. And then if you turn this around here, you can see what all is included in the box and then the entire character assortment from this wave. Let's get her open. When you open up the box, there is the Endo skeleton, a plastic tray with all of the character shells, and then an instruction manual to showcase how to put together the character. Now, I'm going to be pretty quick here since I've already covered the articulation twice in the Monty and Roxy reviews, but there is a ball joint at the head, which is a huge improvement from some of the old Endo series. There's a lot of motion up here on the arm. The elbows are a hinge and swivel, and they go up to 90 degrees. Then there is here at the hands. There is a double ball jointed crunch, so pretty decent ab crunch for a robot. The legs hinge all the way out here. There is thigh swivel. There is a hinge at the knee, which is, oh, there we go. Goes just past 90. It has no forward hinge and swivel at the ankle. There's no rocker whatsoever. The mouth is posable. I know that was a bit of a rush, but if you want kind of a more in-depth look, you can take a look at my Monty or Roxy reviews. Now let's take a look at what she looks like with her costume on. And here she is fully assembled. I had mentioned before in the Roxanne Wolf review that upon initial prototypes of these figures, I was a little unsure of their appearance. I thought they looked a little bit wonky. I think her face is not quite as good as the ones from the previous two figures I looked at. I don't know, something about the eyes just feels a little bit off from the game, but I don't mean to say that this figure looks bad. I would heavily disagree with that sentiment. One thing that I'd praised a lot about the last two is I love the shininess of the plastic. It looks just like the game. Now, in a lot of toys, this level of shininess would look cheap, but it's really appropriate here. So far, I quite like the articulation. I like the way the character is formed. I just think it's overall a pretty good representation, especially when you compare it to the older release by Funko, but I'll get to that in just a moment. In terms of paint application, it is pretty good. I don't see any bleed or smearing, something that I can't say for the Funko one. This came together pretty well assembly-wise. The quality control has been really good on the new Jazwares figures. Some of the earlier ones were kind of lower quality and parts would pop off and stuff. Even down to the leg warmers here, the paint detailing is fantastic. I forgot to mention it in the Roxanne Wolf review, but the way that the pattern continues between the two separate parts is pretty impressive. I do think this leg warmer, the left one, is a little bit too dark compared to the game. But that's really nitpicky. Something interesting is that the hands have, the middle finger here is sort of posed inwards. I don't know why that is. For articulation, it's still really good. Ball joint at the head, then a lot of range of motion here at the chest. Unfortunately, almost no crunch, a decent amount of back, I think. And then the arms, the shoulder pads are adjustable and you can go up to here. You can make it a full T-pose. And then the elbows are just shy of 90 degrees. Then there's still just the swivel at the wrist and there should be a hinge. Yeah, okay. And then, oh, not a lot of kick forward, but if you twist the leg a bit, you can kind of play with it. Oh, now I'm having a bunch of parts pop off, but that's okay. That's kind of my fault. Almost 90 degree for the kick. There's really not much for the feet just because of the leg warmer design. The jaw can open. And now on to the comparisons. This figure stands at around 6 inches tall, and here is the old 5.5 inch, 5 inch Funko one. As you can see, huge difference in the quality here. The security breach figures by Funko were controversial to say the least. One thing I was really curious about is the guitar here. So I think it kind of scales decently well with the new Jazwares figure. Now, it's not technically perfectly to scale, and I had discussed that with Roxanne and Monty as well, but I think this one does work the best. Although, oh, she actually is holding it. I was not expecting that to work. Yeah, not too shabby. And then, in case you were wondering, here is Ruined Chica, and I do look forward to comparing this one to the Shattered Chica, which we're going to get to in just a sec. Here's how she scales next to some other Five Nights at Freddy's characters by Jazwares. Oh, as you can see, the Glamrocks are a little bit taller than the older animatronics based off FNAF 1 and 2, which I don't know if that's lore accurate or not, but I just think it's something that's interesting. Also about heights, I had forgot to mention it in the articulation segment, but the endoskeleton does have drop-down legs, so you can make the character slightly taller or slightly shorter, which is pretty fascinating. Now, let's get on to Shattered Chica. And here is Shattered Chica in all of her glory, and apologies if the audio or the lighting are a little bit weird. I recorded the other segment the week before. Get it? Like the FNAF book? I am just now getting around to filming the section here with Shattered Glamrock Chica, and wow. Now, I don't think it has Roxy Beat as my favorite here, but this is pretty incredible. So, let's take a look at some of the details. Firstly, I want to say, just like the others that I have already reviewed, the paintwork is immaculate. It is fantastic. Overall, there's a lot of weathering. There is a brown wash applied over the entire figure, so you can see all those crevices and details are brought out a bit. I actually think there's both a brown and a black wash because there's kind of a bit of difference in the weathering here. They've been really good about this with the Endo series, especially the Glamrocks, but all of the weathering patches are in the right spot. The shapes are correct. It's really impressive. The one that really caught my attention was down here at the toe. Just like in the game, that toe is missing on her left foot. Overall, I don't really have any complaints about the Shattered version. I suppose I should mention that technically in the game, there's wires and some different colors on her left arm that's exposed. It's not like that here on the figure, but probably just because replacing the parts would make the paint rub off and it wouldn't look very good. Another thing too is you can see inside of her head, the endoskeleton head has this yellow segment. The Shattered Chica model does not have that in-game, but otherwise no real complaints. The fingers here, they're also in that weird position I had mentioned before from the normal version. Let's see if she can hold the instrument. Nah, not really. I think they might be splayed just slightly more open. Now let's get to some comparisons. Here is the Shattered Glamrock Chica next to the Funko Glamrock Chica and the Funko Ruined Glamrock Chica. I said her name a bunch of times there, but yeah, you can see here the original Funko one, like I discussed previously, it's not that great. However, the figures that Funko did for Ruin are fantastic. I do still stand by that. I think this one has it beat just a little bit, but this one does have a little bit of extra paint work on the arm for the wires. I did complain about this, but yeah, both of these figures are fantastic. I would love for Jazwares to give us the Ruined animatronics in the Endo series. Whenever that may be, that would be fantastic. Please, guys, if anybody is listening. But yeah, let's compare her to some other characters from the Endo series. Here she is next to the other Glamrocks I've reviewed. I have not reviewed Freddy yet, so he's not up here. And here she is scaled next to some previous figures from other games. For the final comparison, here she is next to the Funko version of Moon, and I think these two scale together pretty decently. There is one little quality control issue I do want to complain about. On her back plate, there was this like cardboard residue or something stuck to the back of her. I was able to get most of it off with water, but that was a little strange and it would feel wrong to not mention it. And yeah, that's my final thoughts on the Endo series Glamrock Chica. This figure is spectacular, especially for the $25 price range. Like everyone can agree, Jazwares distribution is pretty terrible and a lot of people that want this figure won't be able to get it. That's rather unfortunate, and I really hope they get their act together. Hopefully this will get restocked on the Jazwares Vault, and based off previous precedent, if this does go up on the Jazwares Vault, it's probably going to be up for 50 seconds and then be sold out. But yeah, that's really all I got on Chica. I do still have Freddy left to review, so I'm going to be recording that here very soon. If you guys like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. See you guys next time.